Hi, Jim Graden here with another segment of our martial arts fitness programming. And today we're going to talk about creating satellites for your UBC programming. Now, why do you want to create satellites? Well, I think the obvious answer is you're looking to try to create additional revenue from the UBC and from martial arts fitness training. Well, let's talk about satellites. Let's talk about how we can take what we've been doing inside our facilities, whether it's a fitness center or a martial arts school, and kind of get it out throughout your community. Realize if you have, again, if you're running the UBC at your studio, you have about a 3 to 5 mile radius that you're going to draw from. I mean, you're going to have exceptions, we all do, where somebody's traveling 20 miles to train with you because you're so great. But those are exceptions, that's not the rule. You're going to find, without question, whether it's a martial arts student or a fitness student or a UBC student, you're looking at about 3 to 5 mile radius. So what this does, it allows us and really opens up opportunities that within a short drive from our studio, we can create satellites throughout our region and impact a much larger group of people. Now, of course, I have been licensing the UBC for now 7-8 years, and we have close to over 100 facilities nationwide, and that's, we're very proud of that. But just recently, I have personally been creating satellites. Now, what's the difference? Well, the satellite is where we oversee every aspect of the program. We supply the equipment, we supply the instructors, we do everything. And now, in a short period of time, we've already had close to 10 satellites in the Tampa Bay area. And I've learned a lot about how to do this, right? And really, we haven't made that many mistakes. I think my attitude and my ideas were pretty sound going into it, and we've proven to be successful. Now, let's talk about, first of all, who do you want a satellite, or where do you want to put a satellite? There's a couple of options. One is realize all industries are down right now. I don't care what you're in, whether you're in the fitness industry, in the martial arts industry, you're in practically anything, even government agencies, even school teachers are scared about cuts and so forth. So a lot of, especially fitness centers, and maybe even other martial arts schools or wellness centers, are looking to create additional revenue. And they're very open-minded to someone who can walk into the facility and say, listen, I can come in and put this program in that will take absolutely no effort on your part. We're going to supply the instructors. We're going to supply the equipment. We're going to do the marketing. All we ask for you to do is give us access to your clientele so we can give them a special rate so they can participate in this program. Because most fitness centers, their group exercise programs do not add additional revenue. They just cost them because it costs the instructor. So if you can come in and say, well, listen, I can put it in a program that now is, instead of just costing you money, it's actually going to generate revenue. So that's the first place that we started putting our program in, and that was in, let's say, fitness center. We've put it in 2 fitness centers so far. A recreation center. Now, any of those type of facilities are going to want a little kickback. Of course, they're going to want to get paid. Now, you're walking in and you're saying, okay, I'm going to do everything. In other words, you could just give me the key to your door. You don't have to show up, especially if it's an early morning class, and you're going to make money. So what's that? What value do you bring? What's the fair share? Well, we do a 75-25 split. In other words, we give 25% of revenue to the facility, and we maintain 75%. Now, again, that's a pretty good deal for them. You may, depending on the size of the facility, and this may be just the hottest gym going, and they already have 5,000 members, you're going to rock there, so you may want to go, may be willing to go 70-30, but I wouldn't go any more than that. Because realize you're covering the expenses. You have to bring the bags in, you have to bring the bands in, you have to pay the instructors, you have to do the marketing, so there's expenses involved for you. But also you got to realize you've got a facility, you have members to market directly to, there's a lot of things they bring to the table as well. So 25% is fair. Now, That's one way to create a satellite, and I like that. I mean, we've had success with it, but the challenge is if I go into a fitness center or a recreation center, not only do I have the expense of the startup cost, which is the bags and the bands, and the instructor, which is an ongoing cost, but I have the marketing expenses. So I have to go ahead and spend money, because a lot of times a fitness center doesn't mind that you market to their facility or their students, because they're still getting a cut of it. But what they'd like to see is you bringing in new members. In other words, you're marketing the UBC in your community, and you're utilizing them as one of your new locations, and they're getting phone calls, or you're getting phone calls, and people are coming down and coming in their facility, joining their facility along with the UBC. But that costs money. Marketing is probably the most expensive part of the UBC, that and the instructors. So if you're in a situation where you're going into a fitness center and they're looking for that, and that's something you can bring to the table, especially if it's close enough that you can just add their location to your already ongoing advertising, that's not such a big deal, but it's still an expense. What we have found, instead of going to the fitness centers, which we do, we have 2 and we're actually adding another one soon, so it's a working process. We have also found it very effective to go into government agencies or the school system or corporations.